Hey guys, Andrew here with TrueFit. Today's video topic going to be eliminating and overcoming the negative effects of polyunsaturated fatty acid consumption. And before I get into it, I just want to make it clear that I come from the belief system that a very large percentage of the population at one point or another will come to issues with polyunsaturated fatty acid consumption simply because it's so prevalent in our food supply, especially if you're somebody that eats out every now and then. Just the idea of how much oil is being used and we're consuming is just astronomical and wouldn't be consumed at those numbers in a regular diet. So that's the point of view I'm coming at this with. So I want to give you guys 4 tips on how to eliminate and overcome the negative effects that you might be facing from polyunsaturated fatty acids. But first we have to get in, what are some of the negative effects? Well, for starters, what the PUFAs do essentially is clog up the cells to where it limits the cell's uptake of glucose, which is the primary fuel source. So it could be throwing off your blood sugar levels, and your body's trying to burn glucose, but that glucose is just being free flowing in the blood, and that's why people with diabetes have blood sugar issues a lot of the time, in my opinion, is because the polyunsaturated fatty acid consumption is keeping their cells from actually utilizing the sugar that they're consuming. So with that being said, issues that you might run into, libido issues, hormonal issues is a big one, digestive issues, brain fog, really the list goes on, and there's a lot of correlation with certain diseases that can be linked back as one of the big causes being from polyunsaturated fatty acid consumption. So let's get into the 4 tips. Number 1, diet. Obviously, you want a diet that you're going to be doing most of your cooking from home, because if you're going to want to eliminate this consumption, you're going to have to stop eating out at a lot of restaurants. There's very few out there that actually pay attention to what oils they're cooking with. So cooking at home is going to be huge. And if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I come from the pro-metabolic community. So you're going to want to be eating a lot of animal foods, dairy. You're going to be balancing a lot of these proteins with things like bone broth, consuming a lot of fruit, a lot of good healthy carbohydrates, cooked in coconut oil or butter or tallow, ghee, whatever, instead of using things like corn oil or canola oil or whatever other kind of vegetable oil that they're using at a lot of these restaurants. And it doesn't take a lot to, affect your body, because like I said, the consumption of PUFAs is so astronomical when you go eat out that you would never be getting that amount if you're going to be getting the polyunsaturated fatty acid from an actual whole food source. So that's where the issue lies, and like I said, it doesn't take much. So diet is going to be obviously number 1. In combination with that, I threw on the list on number 4 is going to be coconut oil. Coconut oil is fantastic saturated fat. It's a good fast fuel source for your body compared to polyunsaturated fatty acids that are long chain, take a lot of energy to burn. So you're going to be displacing a lot of the PUFAs as you're detoxifying from those, and replacing them with a healthy fat like a coconut oil or butter. But coconut oil is one of my favorites, really pro-metabolic. And number 2, a good supplement is vitamin E. I believe the mechanistic description as to how this affects PUFA is that the PUFA accumulates in the lysosome of the cells, and I believe that vitamin E has the ability to dissolve the PUFA on the cell and allowing for blood sugar regulation and your cells to actually get the sugar and utilize it appropriately. And I believe it will pass it through your detoxification pathways. But vitamin E, I believe it's you want to take a hefty amount to actually start eliminating the PUFA within your body. And it could take a couple years, upwards to 4 years, they've talked about in certain studies. So something to pay attention to, a very fantastic supplement. There are a lot of good brands out there. So do your research and, see which ones make sense to you. But a hefty amount, I'd say, was it 4,000 milligrams a day? Maybe, don't quote me on that. But, do your research and find what's right for you. Number 3, another good one that helps with glucose metabolism is going to be aspirin. Is a fantastic supplement that I recommend, especially for people that are in the process of, changing their diet from one that's heavy in polyunsaturated fatty acids and switching over to saturated and consuming more sugar. Aspirin is going to be very good at helping you in the interim and being able to utilize that sugar that you're absorbing, because it does offset a lot of the negative issues that come along with polyunsaturated fatty acid consumption. And like I said, number 4, coconut oil, to displace the bad polyunsaturated fatty acids with a healthy saturated fat. So those are my top 4 pointers. Obviously, diet's going to be the biggest key player here, and just gradually getting it out of your diet, consuming less and less week after week until it becomes habit. But that's going to be probably the number 1 game changer is diet. Vitamin E and aspirin are all great at helping with mitigating polyunsaturated fatty acid consumption. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, drop them below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys.